Well, got a new toy today, or yesterday. Trying to figure this thing out. It's got a minor issue. I'm not sure if it's going to need a recap or something there, but if I get over 12 or 13 dBm output on this thing, it signal starts to clip. I think it's probably a back capacitor or something stupid inside. It flat tops the topper part of the wave, so there's probably some kind of push-pull op amp in here, or the bias is set funny. There's a way to do it. I downloaded the manual, so I've been playing with this thing a little bit, but this is going to be a learning curve. I mean, the hack RF and that other thing I got for the radio station experiments and whatever else other thing I want to do there, it's cool, but you got 65 pounds of this is Fluke, but I'm sure Hewlett Packard had some part in this, because it's damn near exactly like my other piece of HP equipment I got. But this is where we're at with it. That's the modulated carrier, unmodulated carrier. The modulation that's going in there, it's 1 volt. But I'm going to try to use this thing here as the exciter for the radio station projects to see whether or not I can creatively find another way to go to jail. I got this coming out of here. Goes into this Chinesium little amp, the same amp I used in the last pirate radio station wannabe fiasco. And then I still got this guy here, but this guy here doesn't seem to like, or I'm not getting the power output, so somewhere I'm losing signal, or this thing here just ain't quite putting out enough that little other Spitfire transmitter was. But yeah, sidetracking from the amp. I didn't even look for that tube, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of saw this on eBay, threw a lowball bid at it, and I literally paid $130 for this thing, and it was untested, parts only. So I took a chance on it, and for the most part I think I won. If it's just a bad cap or that amp needs biased in there, this thing's just like Hewlett Packard, their service manual. You downloaded it, and you'd have to be a slobber and retard with a Phillips headed screwdriver and a butter knife to be able to not tear this thing apart, which I don't plan on tearing it apart, because right now it's doing what I needed to do, and I don't want to F this thing off to try to get it to do more. Right now it's working, so I'm just going to leave well enough alone and try not to destroy something that's kind of half-ass working. Like I said, I get a signal out on here, and we'll see what's going on, but found the absolute monster biggest power strip thing that I had laying here from an old server rack. So I need to be able to plug all this in and set all this up. But really an interesting video or not here, but I'd filmed this video the first time and something happened in the upload. So I'm just going to do this short little thing here. And like I said, I don't have a tripod. And then we're just going to use the same vintage old school Channel Master Super Fringe coming off the leakage around this dummy load down there, and I'm going through about 37 adapters because it seems like everything was set up for SMA And this has got type N and BNC, which isn't a big deal, but I ain't got a whole hell of a lot of these type N to BNC cables. Of course, this guy here, he's using the SMAs, and everything else is using BNC. And I have another bird meter somewhere, but I don't just feel like screwing around, so we're going through connector, adapter. I mean, there's 6 right there. There's BNC to PL259, PL259 type N into the T, and doing the same thing there and the same thing there, and I tried to do it all with what random pieces of coax I had, and then I had to come up with some sort of a RCA, and I have the right adapter here, so I just whipped this pigtail together with this thing here with a BNC on it. He's got an RCA, and then going into that cell phone. I'm going to use that for audio. I still have the Creative Rhomba. That seems to do alright, but I'm not getting enough voltage. I might have to get some sort of a amplifier, and now that I'm thinking about it, I might go get that, and we'll have another random piece of sketchy scrap together equipment here. So see you here in the next video, but this is what I'm working with, trying to figure out all these settings. I didn't even read the manual. I just started pushing buttons on this thing, and my other signal generator doohickey thing, he's kind of simple. They kind of made this retard proof, but then when you get into these special functions, and then there's a switch on the back, you can do all kinds of various test modes. So it's kind of overcomplicated, but it's kind of retard proof. Same thing. So I mean, and the United Package Destroyers managed to break the little legs off the bottom. So you can see, I mean, it wasn't no fault of the seller. I mean, they packed this thing fairly well. It could have been packed a little better, but I don't know who's pulling hairs. I mean, they had this thing double boxed, double wrapped in plastic, and this thing does weigh like 55 or 60 pounds. I imagine the mailman was real happy to try to shove this in the mailbox, but anybody would have tried to run with this thing, they wouldn't have got very far. They had it in that cocoon, taped shut. So yeah, it took about a half an hour to cut that thing out of there. And then the whole time you're cutting, you're hearing shit roll around inside, and it's got you worried because you don't know what's on the inside. But I was fairly impressed for what I paid for it. I'm going to leave the seller a good review because it was no fault of his, but he at least gave it a team effort there to try to get it here. And I actually don't even remember the seller's name. He had a few more of these. So if you're looking for one of these, I think he had them there. Shipping included, I know, was $1.50. It's like free shipping included, but you know, this guy ate like $25-30 shipping this thing. There ain't no way around it. But this was the best looking one out of the batch. The other one had this knob was missing, and I think one of these ends might have been dinged a little bit, but I mean, I finally got one. So I'll get that little preamplifier thing for the audio, and we'll see if we can't break something. Alright, I'll see you guys here after a bit.